Is it the products that we purchase, or is it the stories about the product that we purchase? Is it the satisfaction that we look for, or is it the connection that we crave for? Hi everyone, we welcome you to our episode today, Know Your Worth by Comso. I'm your host, Arshaaq. Today we will be diving into the global marketing landscape. We have two very special guests, two experienced marketers, Mr. Chathura Rodrigo, Marketing and Digital Strategy Specialist, co-founder Nebula Global, Mr. Dinuka Perera, Manager Digital Marketing at a leading company in Sri Lanka, and a full-stack marketer. They will help us in understanding the global landscape of marketing, what are the technologies defining the marketing landscape, and also help us understand what are the strategies that make a brand tick, and also the future landscape of marketing. Hi, Mr. Chathura. Hi, Mr. Dinuka.
Hi, Arshaaq.
Okay, so before we dive into the questions, I want to ask one very simple question. Why marketing?
You mean why I choose to market?
Yes. Why marketing?
So for me, I'm also alumni of the Bcom.
Okay.
So we all know that from the Bcom degree, the marketing aspect is not covering much. But marketing is something that always from my childhood, I want to be a marketer. That's something I really wanted. But I came for the Jayewardenepura University, so I had a chance to go to even for the Calendar University for the marketing degree, but I came for the Japura. I knew that from this Jayewardenepura, I can get more connections. So it's marketing, I feel that it's almost connection is matter, and marketing is something that make me happy. So that's why I choose marketing.
All right, Mr. Chathura. What about you, Mr. Dinuka?
Okay, so when it comes to me, it's a completely different story. So I'm coming from a mathematical background, so my degree was also a Bachelor of Science. So when I was pursuing my degree, I was basically focused on computer science, but in the meantime, I felt that this was not the most ideal industry for me. Then I switched to marketing, actually digital marketing.
Okay.
I followed a professional qualification. I did more studies when it comes to marketing, and then eventually I got to work in the industry, starting as an intern, and then gradually moved on to marketing, and so far it's very good.
So far, so good. So different paths, but somehow you all made it into marketing, and you all found a similar spot, we can say. Mr. Dinuka, you are into digital marketing and you're specializing in digital marketing. Mr. Chathura, you are in advertising and you're specializing in advertising. So, digital marketing, advertising, however, these come under the branch of the 7 Ps under promotion. How do you think promotion has evolved over time, and what is the current picture for promotion at present times?
So regarding the promotion, I feel that it has drastically changed with the evolvement of the digital marketing, and now AI is coming. So everything has changed. So the concept that we have spoken still valid. So marketing, I would say the marketing theory hasn't changed. Still it's same. So even 10 years back we talked about the AIDA model. Still we are talking about the AIDA model. How the customer thinks is same, exactly the same thing. So but how brands or the agencies act and how they treat the customer has been changed. I would say there is a generational gap also there. But in terms of the promotion, so earlier we had traditional marketing. So earlier, when my father, my mothers, how they understood the marketing is for the brands did mainly had the newspapers or the TVs on the radio. So they can't give a specific message for the specific target audience. For example, if I'm located in Kurunegala district, I can't only market for the Kurunegala district. There are only small conditions that can be given, such as the BTL, so Billboard. But now, even I'm in the Kurunegala district, I can target only specific kilometer radius. So only target the female or the male in that particular area. So that detail analysis marketing can be done through the digital marketing involvement, and same time I think through the AI. So things are getting easier compared to earlier. But I would say the promotion, how the customer think, the customer react for the promotion, still it's same. but how we as a marketeers, how we do the promotion, the method has been changed. Only that is.
Yes. If we talk about mass marketing back in the day, people think mass marketing is not that much significant right now. However, when we see TVs, how we see the radios, we come across various advertisements. How do you think those have been adjusted by marketing agency to tell, okay, these are specific customer segments, these are the ones that we are going to approach, and how have they justified that this is worth targeting?
Regarding the mass marketing, I would say it's not dead. Definitely not dead. Specifically for Sri Lanka. So like main reason was like so digital literacy and the internet access in specifically country like Sri Lanka, the third world country like Sri Lanka, is limited. So I would say the digital marketing aspect correctly can be done in very close regions in Colombo district, maybe the Kandy on the Gold, the southern region. When you go beyond that, for the mass brand, maybe a product that they want to target the 50 more than 50%, 60% of the population of the country, still the mass marketing work perfectly well. So like that's why when we so like I think the cricket World Cup is happening.
Yes.
I think that's why big brands coming and they put that. I think at the same time with mass marketing, so like we need to understand why we do the marketing. So there are different stages of the marketing. So like why do the the TV ads or the radio ads? It's mainly to create the awareness of the region. I think still if you want to build the awareness to your brand, the mass marketing is perfectly well, and but you definitely you should have budget. So but if you don't have proper budget and you need like a very specific niche audience to be targeted, in that digital marketing works for you.
Exactly, adding to that point, actually, mass marketing is still relevant, but in certain it belongs to certain criteria. Like if you are a big business, you have money, then you can go into mass marketing directly, use ATL, BTL. So if you are a small business, the objectives are different. Like you will have to use digital marketing aspects, channels to get the most efficient ROI to your business. Like when you are going into mass marketing, you will have to put in big budgets, to be honest with you. So brands must identify what are their objective, what are their targeting customer segments, and the objectives, to be honest with you. If that's identified, then brands can decide when to go mass marketing, when to use traditional marketing methods, and when to use digital marketing, and how to utilize both, actually. Yeah.
When we talk a lot about these big companies, big budgets. And as to individuals who's into advertising and digital marketing, you might have had various clients coming to you of various scales. What has been your experience in handling them, and what are the most valuable lessons that you gained out of it?
So, when it comes to your question, I have been a part of an agency in my early career, now working in a corporate. So, I have the perspective from actually both sides, working in an agency, working with different kind of brands, and currently in an organization handling about 10 brands under the digital marketing facets. So, it's actually the basic things like Chathura said, actually we know the marketing theories, we know how the market evolves through the time, we know what trends are coming right now. We just need to adapt. We just need to adapt the past theories, all those kind of marketing frameworks into the current setting. And then when brands give us briefs when working in an agency, we should be able to, from the agency's perspective, we should be able to identify the client's needs, identify the brand's objectives, and according to that we have to give them a plan, whether it's ATL, BTL, or digital marketing. It depends on the brief and the objectives. So from the agency perspective, we have to clearly identify what's the objective first. Otherwise, no matter what we do, it's not going to work. From the other brand's perspective, if you are working with an agency, we need to correctly identify how to communicate our need from the brand perspective. Or if you are working with a team in-house, it's completely different. We need to guide them, we need to have a proper plan, and basically the most important thing about marketing is identifying the objective of the brand, and then according to that objective we need to identify the customer's need, and the gap, that's where we have to fill with marketing.
Yes. When you said about our objective and identifying what the customer needs, isn't marketing about convincing our customer to purchase our product? And when we say, when we have like these different promotional methods, we have advertising, digital marketing, we have even say various other promotion tools. As marketers, how do you ensure that all of these align in a way that we send the right message to the customer and they feel, okay, this is our product, this is a brand that we can resonate with, and this is something we would like to purchase? What is the trick behind, if you are like saying we are going to convince the customer to buy it?
So yeah, marketing can be defined in many ways, but we cannot like say it's directly, we cannot say marketing is convincing someone to purchase. It's all about how you feel about the brand, how the brand is perceived in the customer's mind, to be honest with you. So it's like this. Now imagine we have a business, we want to do sales, it's a very reputed business in our country, and for that business there can be various kind of objectives, like to capture more market share, to increase brand awareness and have more brand recall. So according to that, there's no right way or wrong way, like we cannot say this is wrong for this brand, this is not wrong for this brand, the objectives I mean. But now every organization has their strategy to develop, like they want to capture more market share and then grow likewise. So the marketing team has the objective to accomplish that company's objectives. Those are two different things, company's objectives and the marketing objectives. So in the marketing team, the marketing team has to actually identify the company's objectives first and then align the marketing objectives according to that. So then the whole marketing plan, the marketing strategies develop. Then only we can think what we do, like digital marketing, what channels are being utilized, when to go to BTL and ATL, likewise. Now, most brands currently, what they do is they go to ATL, BTL for brand awareness, as Chathura mentioned, because especially in Sri Lanka, the mass market is touched by mostly from ATL and BTL. But if you are now, the thing is, if you are going into more sales, if you are going into capturing leads, the most efficient and the cost effective platform is actually digital, because now all the Gen Zs and Gen Ys are not very much into watching TV, right? They always have their phones in hand. So comparatively to past 10 years, 15 years, the marketing has actually got easier, because now the phone is always on our hands, right? So we go through social media every time, we log into Facebook, we log into TikTok and just scroll everywhere. So we can specifically, if we want to target the specific audience and if it aligns with our marketing objectives, then according to our plan we can directly execute those campaigns very easily compared to the past years.
So that's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes. Exactly. We just see the ultimate product.
Yeah, there's no simple kind of trick, to be honest with you. But those are the things we consider, and the basics how we should align.
And Mr. Chathura, I'd say previously, I think this is one of my personal opinions, it was mostly what the business wanted to sell, and it's not, you don't listen much to the customer right now. How important has it become at modern times to listen to the customer and those communication that is coming from that end to now? So it can be in your clients also. We have different agencies and stuff. They are also clients, so technically they can be your customers. how do you take those inputs and how do you manage, this is my view, these are the ideas of yours, how do we align those together?
Yeah, so like ultimately we have to identify like as advertisers or the brand. So like what is our end goal? So end goal is to give like a proper service or the product to our end customers. So like if that customer emotionally or like is not connected, if the connection is disconnected between the brand, so like there won't be any, so like a proper way, so like they can't give the service. For example, I think the KFC went to the India, so like so even their name goes as Kentucky Fried Chicken, but they ultimately fail because most of the Indians, they don't like the beef burgers or chicken burger, so they had to introduce a veggie burger for their brand. So as a brand, so when you go overseas, maybe within the local context, you have to identify the cultural elements. So like I think very interesting campaign has been recently done by the McDonald's in Germany. So like this is the Ramadan season, right? So like most of the Muslims they are fasting for 12 hours time period. So they did a very nice campaign. They just show their product, the box on the packaging. So after the normal time is over, so like the fasting is over, then only the product has acceptation. So like, so someone can be argued that, so like in the German context, the only Muslim context is very minor compared to the Southeast Asia, so the Asian countries, Middle East countries. But that campaign has attracted even the people have appreciated what they have done. So like and at the same time period, now the brands are more moving to the AI context. So they are thinking that cost cutting is much greater, for their marketing budget is getting reduced. But I think the currently people like the human touch still. So like if the brand want to cut the marketing budget and pursue the sales system, the ultimate goal, I think the brand will be, in the short term they will win, in the long term they will definitely last, because ultimately you have to identify what is your customer, how they are emotionally connected to the brand, because you have to identify you are not the goal, you can't create everything, so there are other competitors coming and the government is there, the people power is there, so you have to listen to the people.
Yes. When you said about AI and the human touch, it kind of resonated very well, because now a lot of things, I mean, not a lot of things, but you come across a lot of content AI. And it has come to a point also where the consumer is also aware, okay, this is AI, this looks AI. And how have you experienced, the two of you experienced, how AI has helped you all, and how do you all keep the human touch, that aspect, a much very unique component in marketing? How has it helped so far?
So when it comes to AI, all of us are afraid, right? AI
Yes.
will get our job, but actually that's not the case, to be honest with you. So when it comes to AI, what we can do is utilize AI to maximize our benefits. Um, if I go, if I explain it a bit more, AI is making our copywriting easy. AI is making our graphic designing, video editing easy. It makes it easy actually, and it makes everything easy if you take it that way. Not like it's getting our jobs. It's it's gonna be a problem. If you take it in that way, it's gonna be a problem. But if you train yourself to use AI, that will actually benefit you, your brand, and the company as well. But the important thing is, as Chathura mentioned, we have to keep the human kind of feeling when it comes to our content. We can't just go, there's AI, there's this tool, we can just use it and generate our content. We can't do that. We need to identify the correct mix which resonate with our audience, because each and every brand has a different way of reaching out to their customers, right? So the brand has to specifically identify that, and according to that they can have a specific content mix when it comes to content, if that's where AI is being used.
Yes.
But when it comes to voice cloning, stuff like that, there are also AI is being used very much right now, actually it makes it's cost effective when it comes to the business, and it needs more less manpower as well. But uh, in similar cases you can use it in a hybrid model, like in the morning to evening hours you can have a human doing all those, like if it's a call center for marketing operations and whatnot, you can have a human doing the job from 8 to 5, and then afterwards you can use AI, which will actually lesser the costs and also actually downgrade the human which will actually be easy for the
Easy for-
business,
yes.
and for the staff as well to do the job. So that's the sweet spot where you have to identify.
So, Mr. Chathura, one thing that we come across a lot of is now AI was developed in most in the Western context. And how do you think it's useful for us in completely different set of cultures, norms, values, and whatnot, beliefs even? How do you think AI should be structured so that it's like not even the large companies, but even a small person who wants to start a business can benefit from it? Because sometimes the large AI models may not be cannot be introduced to a business because of their capital limitations. How do you think, as a country, if we are moving with AI as we should, what are the changes or improvements that we can see so that it can be a better fix to this marketing in Sri Lanka?
So like we had to identify how the LLM works, large learning languages works. So like how they get the information. So like as you correctly said, that westernized countries, they when you do the marketing, so like especially the AI tools such as VO3 or sort of thing. So video generation is much more accurate to compare to the countries like Sri Lanka or Bangladesh. So most of the time when you kind of create a content, so the Sri Lankan people, human context won't coming as westernized countries, because like the white face or sort of thing is properly learned. That's not something that we had to think about from the AI context. That is sort of a thing that went from early stages, because like when I started my career, so like we can't every way go and take the photograph for the graphic design. We take the stock footages from different platforms. So early those days also we can't get the Sri Lankan faces or sort of thing. So we had to identify that limitation will be there definitely, because like those country won't come and take those, don't give a priority to a country like Sri Lanka, because our population is very limited. If a country like India, yeah, definitely they can get, because there's population, there's a significant market growth there. So in that context, we had to finding our marketing campaign in a different way. So as Dinuka said, we had to identify the sweet spot between the AI and the human context. So like if you put a billboard with the AI image and a billboard with the human context, we had to I won't think that the people will go for the vote for the billboard with AI. People still like the human context, human touch. So in that case, I think that at this moment in the 2026 era, still the solution hasn't been found. The proper solution haven't been found. But we can take a photograph and we can tell the AI, so this is a kind of a look and feel that I want to create it. Then they give a proper more answers compared to the we take a footages from just a prompting. So we had to feed the language properly. So like that is the different thing. So like AI prompting is a different subject you have to learn. So like people thinking that the chat GPT is there, the Claude AI is there, the VO3 is there, now I can create a video. No, that's a different context. As I said in earlier, as many big CEOs said, so AI won't replace you, but the person who knows AI will definitely replace you. So you have to identify how to use the AI prompting and how to feed the languages properly, then you can get the proper answers.
That's very insightful. And one thing that I can still remember is even in social media, I see a lot of individuals doing their own thing, the influencers, then you have the agencies, then you have the freelancers. When you combine all of this, how do you think, how well should you approach and identify these are the right fit for us, these are the right people for us? How do you identify those people, and how do you say hand over that responsibility? Okay, this is our project, these are certain aspect of our project, this is what we need to do, and we trust you on this. What's the process behind that, and what's the thought process behind that? Can you just give us an insight onto that?
So regarding the brand, ultimately they have to identify what is their market share and how much of the marketing budget they can be allocated. So some of the brand, they take the 5% of their profit share or the revenue share to brand. So in that context, as Dinuka said earlier, so the brand need to identify whether they go for the agencies, whether they're going to create their team in-house. Ultimately, you have to identify the promotion of the market. There are 7 pillars in the marketing, 7 P's. If the service, the product, there are 4 P's. For understanding of the today context, I would take the 4 P's: the product, price, place, promotion. So the brand can't only focus on the promotion aspect. So the marketing team definitely have a proper focus on other 3 aspects as well. So package design is very important when you take a product like tea. When you go for the supermarket, when you identify a very attractive packaging is there and unattractive packaging is there. So some of the time you might go for the attractive packaging even the price is a bit higher because the packaging is very nice. That's how human thought process is working. So at the end of the day, we are working with the human. So in that context, if the brand manager or the CEO, the particular company have proper idea about the marketing, some of the time the marketing manager might not have proper idea about the marketing, or some of the time they might not have proper idea of the digital marketing. So in that context, they need the support from the external parties. In that context, the advertising agency is coming. Now the freelance is coming, much cost-effective option for the brand. But end of the day, you have to think if the creatives coming from a one person head is good enough, or the creatives coming from a multiple group of people who working for the brand. I think this is some while I was starting my career, I had this issue why brand go for agencies. So why can't they only focus in the do everything through the in-house? So this is one of the advice given by my supervisor. He said that so the brand only know the context of their company, the knowledge only having with the country, but the agency might know the industry knowledge, the competitors inside, because they are working with multiple avenues. So those information of the key data is very important to take a good decision. That's why agency working helping the brand is very important. Big brand, you may in the Sri Lankan context, the world context, any huge big brand, they're definitely working with the agency or they're working with the freelancers. The small scale businesses, they don't have much budget. They can find a person who have a proper knowledge about the digital marketing. They can run the marketing and with the help of AI. So they can do it in-house. But when the brand is massively growth stage is happening, definitely they need help.
What do you think? Anything to add to that, Mr. Shah?
Yeah. So when it comes to choosing agencies and freelancers, as Chathura said, it depends on the scale of the business and your objectives again. And it's actually for larger corporations, it's actually a mix, like a hybrid option. Like you have some campaigns done through agencies, you do your corporate branding in-house, likewise. So there's no right or wrong way. There's always advantages and disadvantages, but everything depends on how big your brand is, how big your organization is, and what the capability and the objectives. So according to that, we have to find the right options to the right objectives to get it done. So for a simple video shoot, we can take a freelancer. If it's a big campaign, we can do it through an agency. Like I said earlier, if it's corporate branding, we can do it in-house, likewise.
This all comes down to what we discussed before as well, having that consistent image across all channels that we used. So before we wind up, Mr. Chathura and Mr. Dinuka, I have one more question. One last question is, what would you say to a person who wants to enter the field of marketing? You wanted to come into marketing. You came from another path. You start into marketing directly, and definitely there's corporate exposure here. Then you have started your own thing. What would you say to a person who is coming into the industry? What should they have, and what would make them stand out? And what would be a word of advice, a simple word of advice for the people who are watching and for who wants to join marketing?
So like regarding my advice, if you want to come with marketing, you should definitely have passion. So like so I did my degree in Bcom. I completed ACCA. I completed the AAT. So I have my major also from the accounting and finance.
Yeah.
So like when I was in the second year, third year, I thought like I never want to be an accountant or the finance. I'm really good in the finance. So like I think I was the kind of like the best top in compared to the accounting papers came. My results were really great in the accounting aspect. But I thought like at the end of the day, after maybe my retirement or the 35, I mean I was hitting the 35, they want to be a finance head in a company. I definitely want it. I like to connect with the people. So like even I did the digital marketing. So like I kind of got fed up with the digital marketing aspect also, because like in the digital marketing you are sitting in a table and you are looking at the computer for like 12 to 14 hours time period. I don't like that. I want to go with the people. I want to connect with the people. I like to talk to people. So my specialty is actually the client servicing. So for better part of my career, I did the client service. I met with the brands. I had deal with more than 50 leading local and international brands in Sri Lanka and the international. So I would say that you should have definitely passion, and you should identify. So like in the marketing, there are different roles you can have. So like in terms of my familiarity with advertising, I would say there are roles such as client servicing, so who work with the clients, and there are roles such as copywriters who write in the copies, and there are some people who create the content, so those called we as content managers, and performance marketeers, strategists, different role. So you have to identify what place you can give much better result compared to your colleagues or the other people won't come to that position. So if you want to start a thing, your own thing, the marketing, I think like definitely a business owner, they are one of the best knowledge or the best quality they should have is the marketing. Because like ultimately you're gonna sell the customer. So product going to sell the customer, then you should have a marketing. Some people might argue it's a common sense. Yeah, it's a common sense, but you should have like a knowledge how to do proper marketing. So again, yeah, it should be have a passion for the marketing, and ultimately you should be happy about what you're doing. So if you're not happy, I think even if I was maybe in the 5 years time period, if I met, I would say like I shifted my career because like I was not happy. If you are not happy, at the end of the day, you should quit that. You should find your happiness.
Mr. Dinuka.
The reason I chose marketing is exactly what Chathura said. I felt my passion was not there with computer science. Nothing wrong with computer science, but I felt my passion was not there. So I had the same question, like how do I transition into marketing? What should I do? Likewise, then the step one what I did was to acquire knowledge, because knowledge is never gone in waste. So the more the knowledge you gain, the more it will benefit you in the long run. So while continuing the Bachelor of Science in Sri Jayewardenepura University, what I did was I did CIM level 6 and level 7 while doing my bachelor's, and I started working as well. I started working as an intern in a digital marketing agency. So with 3 years of time, I was able to become account manager in my other agency I was working, and I was able to complete CIM level 6-7 accordingly as well. Then I had the industry experience and the knowledge as well. So as step 1 was acquiring knowledge, step 2 was gaining experience. So I have worked with a lot of brands, both international and local brands, and the thing I have to say is you have to find your niche, but I encourage people to be full stack marketers, 360 kind of people, because now with the AI coming and everything, you have to have your expertise in all the facets when it comes to marketing. So I basically call myself as a T-shaped marketer because I have the width of all the marketing aspects and the depth in specializing on digital marketing. So likewise, I encourage people to, while going into uni, start doing a job, because when we go into the industry, it doesn't matter if it's an agency or a corporate, we need to have experience. So you need to have the upper hand, right? So now there are plenty of universities in the country, both private and government, so plenty of people getting out. So to have an advantage, you should have something differentiates you. So personally, I had that with the experience I gained when I was going out from the university. I had few years back in my career, so I was able to go ahead from others who were just graduating from my university. So that's very important in the current context to gain the upper hand, because otherwise we all need, what's our end goal? We need to be successful, right? So to be successful, we need to go ahead from others. That's exactly what I did, and that's exactly how I guide other people as well. First, you should gain knowledge, you should gain experience, and then to implement it. And then the fourth step would be continuing learning. So I completed my master's, I gained my chartered marketer status as well. So that means I'm dedicated to learn more, because marketing always changes. Marketing changes every day actually. So the fifth step, I would say, to adapt. So basically, going back, first thing, gain knowledge, gain experience is the second step. Third step would be applying that. Then the next would be continuing learning. Fifth one would be adapting. So that's the secret. That's the recipe to be successful in marketing or any other career. Just be the 360 guy, where everyone in your organization depends on. So that will that will be the trick to excel in your career.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dinuka. Thank you very much, Mr. Chathura. I think we understood a lot from, we started up by discussing the landscape of marketing, then we understood how AI is changing things, how still it is important as humans, the human touch, how we as marketers can be relevant in the field. And then we went on to discuss how we can keep a certain message consistent across different channels, and ultimately at the last point, how a person can come into the industry and how they can survive. It was really insightful, and I thank you for your time. I hope the viewers who engaged with us had a great time, had an insightful discussion to our podcast. We hope you stay tuned for further more episodes down the way. Signing off, I'm your host, Arshaaq.